thing going to be parasitism. Okay, so what is parasitism? Consider that in parasitism, one species is benefited and other species is harmed. Okay, so let's see. The parasitic mode of life ensure free lodging and meals. It is getting free lodging and meals. This is not surprising that parasites are seen in many taxonomic groups like Entamoeba histolytica from Protista, malaria, malarial parasites, trypanosoma. All these things are the parasites on human beings. When it comes to Platyhelminthes, we have Fasciola hepatica, which is liver fluke, and Tinea solium, tapeworm, and coming to the Asclepias, we have Wuchereria branchofti, which is filarial worm, and we have Ascaris, which causes ascariasis, Ancyclostoma, Ancyclostoma, which is hookworm, and we have all these things will be acting as a parasite on human beings. So from plants to higher vertebrates, we have many things which will be acting as a, for example, fungus albugo, which is a parasite on mustard plant, so which is an obligatory parasite. Many parasites have evolved. The host specific can parasite only single species of the host. If that host is not there, then the parasite itself is not there. Like Entamoeba histolytica, which is monogenetic host. Only man is the host for that. But when it comes to malaria, it has intermediate host as it has the primary host. So it has secondary host and primary host. Primary host is the mosquito and the secondary host is the man. And they both co-evolve actually. That is, if the host evolves special mechanism for rejecting or resisting the parasite also evolves special mechanism to counteract and neutralize them. So assume that if host exhibit acidic HCl to digest the parasite, and the same time parasite will exhibit a thick layer of cuticle on its skin to protect from HCl. So if mucus layer is present on the intestine of the host, then the parasite will be having hooks and suckers to hold that host. Likewise, in order to be successful with that same host species, in accordance with their lifestyle, parasite evolve special adaptations such as loss of unnecessary sense organs. So, loss of digestive system and unnecessary sex organs removal, predispositions of adhesive organs, success to cling to the host, and having high reproductive capacity like tapeworm. The life cycles of parasite is often complex, involving two or more intermediate host vectors to facilitate parasitism to its primary host. The human liver fluke, which is trematode in the sense it will comes under Platyhelminthes, depending upon the two intermediate host, snail and fish, to complete its life cycle. So the malarial parasite need a vector to spread to other host. Majority of the parasite will harm the host. If you see, they may reduce the survival and growth and reproduction of the host also. That's how the host is harmed and reduce its population density. They may render the host most vulnerable to predation by making it physically weak. Do you believe that the ideal parasite should be able to thrive within the host without harming it, right? Then why didn't the natural selection leads to evolution of such a totally harmless parasites? So parasites that feed on external surface of the human host organism, we call it as ectoparasites. For example, mosquito. Mosquito is an ectoparasite which is sanguivorous, which will be head lice, which is a ectoparasite. So which is also sanguivorous, which will be sucking the blood. The most familiar example is lice on humans and ticks on dogs. Many marine fishes such as ectoparasitic copepods, cascata, which is a parasitic plant that commonly found on the growing on hedge plant, that lost its chlorophyll and leaves in course of evolution. It derives its nutrition from the host plant, which is parasites. The female mosquito is not considered as parasite, although it needs our blood for reproduction. So because it won't stay for a long period of time on our body, that's why we don't consider it as a parasite. In contrast, endoparasites that will live inside the host. at different sites: liver, kidney, lungs, red blood cells, etc. The life cycles of endoparasites are more complex because they are extremely special. The morphological, anatomical features are greatly simplified while emphasizing their reproductive potential. So, a special type of parasitism, that is brood parasitism in birds. Fascinating example for parasitism, in which the parasites lays eggs in the nest of the host and lets the host incubate them, because cuckoo doesn't know how to build the nest. So it will lay the eggs in the crow's nest. During this course of evolution, the eggs of the parasitic bird evolved to be resemble the host egg in the size and color, to reduce the chances of host bird detecting the foreign egg and ejecting them from the nest. So try to follow the movements of cuckoo and crow in your neighborhood park during the breeding season and watch the brood parasitism in action. And the next thing is commensalism. So coming to the commensalism, in which one organism is benefited, the other organism is neither benefited nor lost. So this is the interaction in which one species benefited and the other is neither harmed nor lost. An orchid growing on the epiphyte of a mango branch. A baroncles growing on the back of the whale. While neither the mango tree nor the whale derives any apparent benefit, but the barnacle and the orchid is getting the benefit. The cattle ergot and the grazing cattle, close association, which is most likely to catch if you live on the farmer rural areas. It is a classic example of commensalism. The ergot always forage close to where the cattle is grazing, because the cattle, as they move, stir up and flush out from the vegetation insects that otherwise might be difficult for the ergots to find and catch. So another example of commensalism is the interaction between sea anemone and stinging tentacles, and the clownfish lives among them. The fish will get protection from the predators which stay away from stinging tentacles. The anemone doesn't appear to be any benefit or loss. So next, finally, mutualism. What is mutualism is both are benefited. So interaction of conifers benefit both the interacting species, conifers. Both are benefited. Lichens, if you see mycobiont and phycobiont, mycobiont will get the food. Phycobiont will get the nutrition through absorption by the mycobiont. Between the fungus and photosynthesizing algae or cyanobacteria. So mycorrhiza, which is an association between fungi and roots of higher plants. The fungi helps the plants in absorption of essential nutrients from the soil, while the plant in turn provides the fungi an energy yielding carbohydrate. Most spectacular and evolutionary fascinating example for the mutualism are found in plant and animal relationships. Plants need the help of animals for pollinating their flowers and dispersal of their seeds. Animals are obviously have to pay fees for its services that plants expect from them. Plants offer rewards and fee in the form of nectar and pollen for pollinators, juicy and nutritious fruits for the seed dispersers. But the mutually benefited system should also be safeguarded against the cheaters. For example, the animals that try to steal nectar without aiding in pollination. Now you can see why plant-animal interaction often involve the co-evolution of the mutualism. That is, evolutionary of a flower and its pollinator species are tightly linked to one another. In many species of fig, which is Hypanthodium as an inflorescence, which is synchronous fruit, there is tight one-to-one relationship with the pollinator species of the wasp. That means that a given fig species can be pollinated only by its partner wasp species, no other species. The female wasp uses fruit not only for oviposition, but it also uses the developing seeds within the fruit for nourishing its larva. The wasp pollinators the fig inflorescence while searching for the suitable egg-laying sites. In return, the favor of pollination, fig offers the wasp some of its developing seeds as a food for the developing wasp larva. And next it would be orchids. So orchids, which is bewildering diversity of floral pattern. Many of them have evolved to attract the right pollinator insects, bee and bumblebees, and ensure the guaranteed pollination by it. Not all the orchids offer rewards. The Mediterranean orchids, Ophrys, employs a sexual deceit to get pollination done by species of the bee. One petal of flower bears an uncanny resemblance of to the female of a bee in size. Color and markings. The male bee is attracted to what it perceives as female. It pseudocouples with the flower. During the process is dusted with the pollen from the flower. When the same bee pseudocouples with another flower, it transfers the pollen to it and thus pollinates the flower. Hence you can see how they co-evolve together. If the female bee color pattern changes even slightly from any other reasons during evolution, pollination success will be reduced unless the orchid flower co-evolves to maintain the resemblance of a petal to the female bee. So this is all about commensalism, parasitism, okay, and mutualism. Thank you.